All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, others, the great millstones, salutations to the brothers pushing his word in truth and sincerity, with charity, and risking their lives and freedom to do so. This is Brother Yana Guy, come from the great millstone, Chicago camp, coming at you with another lesson, the ones edifying. Yeah. This is going to be a quick one. I'm on my quick break. I gotta get back, but just on my spirit, man. You know, when you come to really truly serve the Lord, you know, as Scripture says, prepare thy soul for temptation. You know, you will be hated serving the Lord. All right. And I remember one time, my brother told me, his mother was scoffing him, you know, and just basically trying to get him out the truth. Maybe I'm mixing two stories up, but anyways, his mother was scoffing or said a question like, "Why do you want to serve the Lord?" Or question like, "Are you sure you want to serve the Lord?" You know, because everyone that served the Lord was hated. You know, they all got mistreated. You know, and he was, I still want to serve the Lord. You know, and you know, the scripture came to mind because, you know, when you really serve the Lord, they don't have a problem with you. They can't figure it out, but they don't have a problem with you. They really have a problem with the Lord. All right, they really have a problem with the Lord, and they know, well, they don't know, but they see this. They don't know what it is, but it's the Spirit of the Lord that's on us. You know, how we move, you know, how we conduct ourselves, you know, by what we say, what we do. You know, it's just frustrating to them. You know, and it's really because we're not of this world, man. All right, the scripture talks about how the world will love his own. You know, and since you're not part of the world, therefore the world will hate you. Roughly paraphrasing. You know, in the book of John.
Peace to family too.
You know, but sorry. But just lost my train of thought. Damn radio. But it's just it's the Spirit of the Lord that's upon us, man. You know, these motherfuckers. Hey, the scripture also says that the unjust is an abomination to the just, and the just is an abomination to the unjust. All right, so these people hate us, you know, and the feeling is mutual. You know, the scripture talks about how don't we hate them with a perfect hatred. You know, so the feeling is mutual. You know, we can't stand them because, you know, they don't serve the Lord. And they can't stand us because we serve the Lord. You know, I remember I'm telling a coworker, you know, that hey, I'm just basically watching what I put in my body. Like, he was offering me candy. You know, I work overnights. You know, I do the first shift or overnight shift. You know, and I'm not trying to eat candy like that. You know, sometimes I don't really eat meals, or, you know, when I do, but, you know, I don't I'm trying to stay away from it. You know, and he just got upset. Like, it bothered him. You know, and then later on he made a little comment, like, you know, weeks later, like, oh, you want some of this Bro, what the fuck was some candy again? Or are you on your little diet? You know, motherfucker, like, who gives a fuck? What was it? Like, it bothers them so much. You know, you're just trying to better yourself. You know, how much more this motherfucker hate me, realize that, you know, I serve the Lord. You know, I consider myself, you know, an Israelite. You know, I am, you know, from, you know, hey, this motherfucker, hey, that read the scriptures, that go out there and teach, and, you know, this is my heritage. This, you know, this is why I believe. You know, this is what I do, you know. You know, I do sit downs, you know, I pray, I fast, you know, you know, if you knew all these things, this motherfucker, you know, how much more these motherfuckers hate you, man. You know? And that's why you got to be careful with these motherfuckers and never trust thy enemy, man. You know? Because at the end of the day, these people, hey, you going to have some people that be cool with you. You know, because the scripture also says that if your ways please the Lord, he'll make your enemy be at peace with thee. You know, but you also got those motherfuckers that just ain't going to like you, man. You know, and I got that scripture, Matthew 10:22. It says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. You know, let these motherfuckers, you know, I don't even get into politics with these people. I don't really get into nothing, man. All right? These people try to, there's one motherfucker try to, he has a clue or an idea, you know, he'll just try to tell me, like, hey, you know, you and me Israelites, or, you know, I try to give me little hints or see if I'm gonna go ahead and start, you know, spilling the beans. Nah, man. You know, these motherfuckers ain't trying to serve the Lord. You know, these motherfuckers don't fear the Lord. You know, these motherfuckers will now try to sabotage you, your day, you know, just because you call on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. You know? But that's scriptures, man. You know, those things said it was going to happen, and that's what it is, man. All right? You know, the Lord said that we'll be hated. These motherfuckers, they'll surely show you that, you know, they hate you, man. You know, I got a lot of people that scoff, you know, just how I conduct myself. You know, it's not even, you know, they, you know, try to be out here, motherfuckers just scoff just because you got a beard, man. You know, how much more are you serving the Lord? You know, I don't play with these people. You know, scripture says don't cast your pearls unto swine. You know, these people will talk behind, as soon as you turn the corner, start talking shit. Hey, you know, this man just trying to say he read the Bible, he do it. You know? I ain't got time to play with these people, man. You know, it's all bread and circus for these people. You know, they don't believe in the Lord, they don't fear the Lord, man. You know, so you got that feeling of motherfuckers just staring at you. It's probably true. It's probably, you know, and at the end of the day, they can't figure it out, but there's a scripture right here, man. And you should be hated by all men for his name's sake, man. So I'm ending it off today. I got to get back. No one's edifying scripture today. Until next time, say shalom and a Bible ball.